It's been about a week now and everybody's trying out the new Lifeline rework as well as grinding RP. However, with the addition of the new support class buffs, it's turned the meta upside down. In this video, we are going to discuss the new meta and how you can adjust to it. What do you mean the meta has been turned upside down? This past week, I've been noticing two types of squads showing up as I go high up in the rank. Both squads are very support heavy, and that has never been a thing. The first squad consists of 3 support class legends, whereas the second has dual support, and the last spot is dealing with various legends. The first team consists of the 3 following legends: Gibraltar, Lifeline, and Newcastle. Right out the gate, this team was very strong and is currently hard to beat. But let's go over the pros and cons of this team. Oh, by the way, I'm using Lifeline's old picture because it's aesthetically appealing for the animation I'm using currently. So let's go over the pros. First off, shields, and more shields. This team has ridiculous amounts of shields. And when I mean shields, what I'm talking about, well, you have Gibby's bubble, you have Newcastle's mobile shield, you have Gibby's gun shield, you have Newcastle's castle wall, and then you have Lifeline's new and improved ultimate Doc Halo. That right there is 5 shields. But if you add Newcastle's revive shield, that's 6. And don't even add gun shield generators to Lifeline or Newcastle. That's a total of 8 possible shields for one team to have. That's going to be pretty difficult to handle, let alone get in close. Speaking of close, our next pro tip is close encounters of the third kind. Basically, now all 3 of these legends can bubble shield fight with shotguns. Gibby in Newcastle was already pretty difficult to handle up close with shotties. Now you add Lifeline and she has almost the same ability as far as with her ult and the shotgun. That's just ridiculous. And finally, they're all support legends. They benefit from all the buffs and passive abilities that comes out this season. I mean, double healing, double shield regen. That right there makes one support legend hard to deal with. Now, let alone 3 and all on the same squad? Just crazy. Just flat out crazy. Now let's talk about the cons for this team. The first one is 0 movement abilities. Again, all 3 are support legends. They cannot move or like skirmishers or any other legends that have movement abilities. So this makes it kind of difficult for them to get in or get out of certain firefight scenarios. Next is 0 scanning. Like I said, these are support legends and there's no recon on this team that can help them find the next ring, nor can they scan for enemies, aka rats. And the last con is limited vertical protection. Granted, this is a shield up team and they can protect themselves, but only horizontally. It's very limited vertically. So you have to, if you have the high ground, this team pretty much can get damaged and pretty much can get knocked. So as you can see, that's the pros and the cons for this 3 support team. Now let's briefly talk about the dual support and random legend team that we've been seeing currently. The dual support usually be Lifeline and Newcastle. And the random legend is usually Pathfinder, Valkyrie, Alt, Wraith, or Vantage. So how do you fight against these teams? Let's talk about that right now. I see a lot of people online trying to fight the old way, where you start to fight from long to mid range and you try to knock 1, maybe 2 legends and then rush in. That will not work with the new support meta. With 3 or 2 support legends now, by the time you rush in, that knock legend is already back to full health and ready to fight. So the new course of action is to get up close and personal and take the firefight within close quarters. But then again, like I said before previously, this team excels in close quarters fighting. So what do? Prey upon their weakness and try to start the fight from the high ground. When I say prey upon their weaknesses, I really mean use a legend or 2 that can expose them. When you see the team using their tacticals or ultimates to defend or heal up, here's a few examples of what I mean. For starters, Ash can get her team in quick and fast in a hurry with her portal. Not to mention her tactical with level 3 perk, Greedy Snare, it does wonders against that
I
team.
have caught them.
Horizon with Gravity Lift, plus her ultimate Black Hole, can lock down that team in a small confined area and you're literally pouncing on them. Fuse with Knuckle Cluster can direct where he wants them to go so he can set them up with his ultimate Mother Load. Those are just a few examples. Oh, but there's one more that is just mad fun, and that's Mad Maggie. People have said that Mad Maggie is suffering this season due to the buffs to Bubble and Castle Wall. However, I say that it's still possible and downright hilarious. What I've seen is people use her Riot Drill against shields and then use her Wrecking Ball to get in close to the team. That doesn't work. It's always backfires because Wrecking Ball bounces off shields and might come back to bounce off of you. A better alternative is to use Riot Drill, advance into the area, and then use Wrecking Ball and step out of the said area. Now watch how the team inside bounces around like pinball. Also, don't forget to get the level 3 perk Fireball. You gotta lay down those thermites. So there you have it. That's the current state of the meta. I personally think that this is just the beginning and the meta will change by the end of the season. I personally think that this support meta will change back to a hybrid of the old meta, which was entry fragger, secondary fragger, and support. I think I found the perfect team for it. This team is none other than Pathfinder, Watson, and Lifeline. All three are strong in their class as well as in their roles. They are also very high on most of the content creators and pro tier lists for this season. They also complement each other's strengths as well as cover each other's flaws. You have scanning for enemies with Pathfinder as well as scanning for the next ring location with Watson. And don't forget, you have a support legend in Lifeline. Also, this squad still falls in the dual support / skirmisher legend due to the fact that Watson's level 2 perk, Revive Expert, turns her into a support legend. Let's not forget that Pathfinder's ult, Zipline, can get you out of trouble or even to the high ground. Add his level 3 perk, Zipline Zen, and you can take less damage as you zipline out of danger. And let's not forget that Watson covers Lifeline's flaw when it comes to vertical protection. Watson's ultimate can nullify any incoming grenades, certain tactiles and ultimates, as well putting up fences to impede movement. There's only one character that can really blow this team up, and that's Crypto. But who's playing Crypto these days? Unless you're playing on the Tokyo server.